is, T-Law got the eyes of Lee Van Cleef when he go on that field.
Checks it down underneath. That's a crossing route to Christian Kirk. 30, 25, 20, 15, 10. Christian Kirk to the goal line. Touchdown, Jacksonville.
They made a major mistake when they made T-Law go to the spirit of the sky to the oracle of the saber-toothed tiger, and the saber-toothed tiger now has the scepter in his hand, and he been to put every critic to rest. Man, last night I done marinated 2 turkeys. I got my cherry wood getting ready for my smoker. Just got off from work, off Pritchard Road. I'm going to bake me 2 Cornish hens. My special recipe, I call it a Mediterranean Cornish hen. I'm going to top it off with my homemade Long Island iced tea. And I'm only going to top it off with 1 red top of Coca-Cola. The Maxwell House coffee will live on forever. Duval!
1010XL 92.5 FM presents Jaguars Today with your hosts Mike Dempsey, Tony Smith, Mike DeRocco, and Dylan Denmark.
All right, good morning, everybody. Welcome in. Tony Smith is literally on assignment today. One of the few times we use that phrase, and it actually has the meaning that it's intended for. And if you wondered, on days when Tony is not here, would D-Rock sit any closer to Mike Dempsey? The answer would be no.
I just sat in my regular spot, man.
I know.
Routine.
I don't need any closer. I mean, I can hear you fine, right? You could be in the next room, and I'd hear you fine because you have a microphone
How about
in front
that?
of you. You know?
It does work that way.
It does work that way.
I like it.
Are you noticing less and less things around the 1010XL offices? Maybe not so much in the studio because we got the shot on streaming, you know, because getting ready for the move.
Yeah, I know my code didn't work today.
Oh, it didn't?
But I think I have a code from
You got fired.
a long time ago.
Oh, okay.
Meaning last season.
Yeah, I had a code down for the Jaguars that wasn't supposed to be my code once. And one day, after using it for multiple years, because we were doing our show down there, somebody at the front desk was like, hello?
Excuse me.
There's a picture of whose code this is on my screen, and it's not you. So, yeah. Can you buzz me in, please? Thank you very much. I went and saw the new digs yesterday. Have you seen them, Denmark, the new place?
Yeah, I saw it about a month ago.
Okay.
Month and a half ago.
Was it just like an empty shell at that point, or what? What's the story?
The cubicles were put up, but that was about it.
Yeah, I do have my own cubicle. I don't know if I plan on hanging out there all that much, but it's a nice building, fresh, clean, till we get in there and wreck the place. But that's coming in the next few weeks. D-Rock, Jags on the field right now versus the Miami Dolphins. The big joint practice session. So we'll, follow along social media, see what goes down today. Liam Cohen said that likely anything that happens today is not going to greatly influence his plan for Saturday. So what do you think the plan is for Saturday? Is it just put every starter in bubble wrap?
Yeah, pretty much. I would not expect. I think there will be some guys that will have to dress just for the pure numbers part of it. Maybe like an offensive lineman who you wouldn't think would play in the game and won't play in the game.
But you got to have them in case there's an injury.
Exactly. Yeah, you don't want to be sending somebody back in the middle of the third quarter. Quick, go put your pads on.
Right.
But yeah, I don't anticipate anybody of consequence playing in this game.
Is that the right move? Like, how confident are you that from what you've seen that they have been able to install things on both sides of the football to their satisfaction, that they're ready to go here now in just over 2 weeks?
Oh, I think Liam Cohen was talking about install was done, 2 weeks ago, right after the first preseason game or right before the first preseason game. Their install's all done. Everything's in, and they've been working on stuff, since obviously the spring, but they're ready to go. And he probably slipped up and shouldn't have said, we know 50 of the 53 guys that are making this team. But, I have a roster projection that's running after the game, the 53-man roster projection. And with the exception of, 2 positions, I feel pretty confident that I, could pretty much pick the roster there. Now, there'll be some differences, but, interior defensive tackle And, at linebacker, what are they going to do at linebacker? That's a fluid situation there. So I think there's very few spots up at this point.
How many guys do you think, and because we hear, week to week could be, I don't know, to me that sounds like 2 to 3 weeks, week to week, right? But I don't know.
Yeah, they don't
have to be specific, right? So, do you feel like Cole Van Lannon, Monteric Brown, Caleb Ransaw, any of these guys are, let's get them on the 53, but then let's stash them on, short-term IR?
Well, I think you can put up to 2 guys. I got to go back and look, but I'm pretty sure you can put up to 2 guys on before you make before you had to make the 53 roster.
You can put them on IR and still bring them back.
Correct. You before the 53 roster. 53-man roster is done.
Well, that's big then, right?
Yeah.
Because, otherwise you're...
Of those guys you mentioned, because they have to miss 4 games.
Right.
So if you think your guy's going to be back week 2, week 3, or week 4, you put them on the active roster and you don't put them on the IR. You know what I mean? If you think they're going to play before
I don't know, man.
week
If you
5,
think they're going to be back in week 4, I might just say,
maybe.
you know what, one more week and save a roster
you could
spot.
do that. But if you think, like a Cole Van Lannon, for example, if you think, okay, well, he's not going to be ready for the opener, but he'll probably be ready by week 3.
Right.
Then you probably don't put him on the short-term IR. I expect Ransaw to be on IR. The other 2 that you mentioned, Monteric and Van Lannon, and did you mention someone else?
Those were the 2.
Okay, yeah I don't think those guys will go on.
You think they'll be on the active roster?
I do.
Cole Van Lannon's spot safe. I mean, I know they liked him up until the point that he got hurt. Tony Baselli was, I wouldn't say raving about him, but just like, I said it a couple times on the air. He said, what do I like about Cole Van Lannon? He gets in between himself. He gets himself between the would-be tackler and the ball carrier. He blocks people. And, he might not have the greatest measurables or what have you, but he gets the job done. He's effective. So we'll get into some of your predictions today for the roster. And obviously, final decisions will be honed over the next few days with the final preseason game coming up Saturday. But today's Chad and Sandy real estate question of the day has to do with a roster spot. And Joshua Cephus, a lot of people thought was, if you're just talking about on receiving ability alone, a lock to be the 5th receiver on this team. But as we know, 5th and 6th, if there is a 6th receiver, have to play special teams. D-Rock, your opinion, yes, Joshua Cephus flashed as a receiver, but little to no chance of actually making the 53-man roster because of his lack of special teams additions.
Yeah, 100%.
Or contributions.
I would have been stunned had he made the roster. Not a good blocker. And, if you watched him in some of the special teams drills, not a ton of effort there. And look.
So not just not a great special teams player, but not particularly a willing special teams player. It
didn't look to me like, I watched through some of those drills, like the one-on-one block. There just wasn't a whole lot of effort in some of those drills. It was like some instances where it looked like he was just going through the motions. And, people inside the building are like, you got to, just what you said. If you're going to be that 5th or 6th guy, you better be able to contribute on special teams, because there's no reason to be kept unless. That's what your job's going to be. That's why Tim Jones made this roster for so many years.
Catch 4 balls.
Right. He was not a good receiver, but he was a physical guy. And if you had to play with him on the active roster and have him in your wide receiver rotation, you knew he was going to be able to block. And he gave you a lot on special teams. If they could have married Tim Jones, special teams guy, with Josh Cephus receiver skills,
receiver.
Yeah, I mean, that's what they're looking for.
He's a good receiver, I think.
Absolutely.
But his future. Do you think if he clears waivers, they'd like to get him on the practice squad, or do you think they just don't think he has a future here in Jacksonville?
I think they'd bring him back on the practice squad, and maybe you can hammer it into his head at some point. Hey, look, if you play special teams and you make a concerted effort to be a good special teams player, there is a spot on this roster for you.
All right. Today's question of the day has to do with that. After the Jags did waive Joshua Cephus with an injury designation yesterday, which of these wide receivers is most likely to make the team when the initial 53-man roster is announced next Tuesday? Your options alphabetically: Chandler Brayboy, And we have him there because, Logman singled him out. You and speaking to me as well, he may be the best special teamer out of this whole group here. And now that's not as a return guy, but as a coverage guy. Trentner Irwin, who's got some value as a receiver, can also be a punt returner. Austin Trammell, same thing. Value as a receiver, can be a return guy. And then we just put Cam Camper and Eli Panko and Dorian Singer. We're going to put like an other category, but those are the other three on the depth chart right now. So if you think it could be one of them or is going to be one of them, anyone you feel it's going to be, vote for that option right now. And as expected, not surprised, it's a two-way battle between Irwin and Trammell. But you can cast your vote on Twitter this morning. You can join the program on the Checkmate Coatings phone lines at 641-1010. Same number for the text line designed by Lifetime Enclosures. You can watch us in the YouTube virtual studio. You can stream us on Twitter and Facebook or hit us up on Twitter this morning. Adam D_1010XL at ESPN Duraco and at 1010XL Denmark.
Winnie the Pooh the hell out of that thing.
That's my man right there. I knew it.
Attaboy.
It'll never die. It will never die. Fat Tony is on assignment with Bulls football down in South Florida. This is Jaguars Today, just kicking off. Love to have you be a part of it on 1010XL and 92.5 FM. Hey, folks, Mike Dempsey here for Pella Windows and Doors. Trust them in my own home. That's the strongest endorsement I can give. Replaced all my windows, my sliding glass door. My home looks great, more energy efficient. Right now, you can do the same. Upgrade your home with 0% financing for 60 months. That's 5 years of interest-free payments on what Consumer Reports will tell you are the best windows and doors in the business. Schedule a free consultation at PellaJacks.com or visit the Pella showroom on Phillips Highway, just north of Bay Meadows. For quality you can trust and savings you can't miss. That's Pella Windows and Doors.
Jaguars Today, Thursday, brought to you by Cannons of Jacksonville. Dan Hicken and Jeff Prosser start the week by giving the ball to the best back in Duval.
And up, Fred Taylor.
Monday morning running back with Fred Taylor is fueled by Epstein & Robbins DUI Defense Firm and Monahan Jewelers on 1010XL.
At Performance Painting, we've spent decades protecting commercial properties with durable, long-lasting coatings. And we can bring the same expertise when painting the exterior of your home. With industry-leading materials and a proven process, we extend the life of your home, reducing maintenance costs and preserving its value. Now, for a limited time, save $500 when you hire us to paint your home's exterior. Just mention 1010XL. Go to performancepainting.com to schedule a friendly estimate. Performance Painting. Repair, protect, preserve.
Performance Painting. Jaguars
Today.
From the Renewal by Anderson Custom Windows and Doors Studios of 1010XL.
How do you know that your roof is ready for the next big storm? You don't. That's why you need to call me. I'm Ronnie, the owner of Brandon Roofing. We'll assess your roof and fix those issues before they become storm disasters. Visit BrandonRoofing.com today to schedule your free roofing quote.
License number CCC 1328006.
Get the real story from people who know the beautiful game best. The Coaches Show, presented by Sporting Jacks with Cole Pepper, Sporting Jacks head of soccer Mark Warburton, and Sporting Jacks women's coach Stacy Ballum. Tuesday nights at 6
on 1010 a.m.
Living on Amelia Island, having fun in Fernandina Beach? No matter what brings you to the fun, cozy town, make sure you check out the tap room at Mokama Beer Company. With a full flight of craft creations, from the Cosmico IPA to the Motor, the perfect Pilsners and Lagers, matching memories and some Mokama magic is what it's all about. Mokama Beer Company in Fernandina Beach, near the big water where the sun is born. And look for more Mokama craft at your local Total Wine or ABC Liquors.
If you're 55 or older and into that whole saving money thing, T-Mobile has an exclusive phone and internet bundle just for you. Right now, get 2 unlimited phone lines plus 5G home internet for just $30 each per month with autopay, plus taxes and fees. And with 5G home internet, setup is easy with just one cord and no technician needed, which is great if you're also into that whole keeping it simple thing. Switch now and experience the best mobile network in the U.S. Visit your local store to start saving. T-Mobile, it's better over here. Based on analysis by Ookla Speed Test Intelligence data Q4 2024 to Q1 2025. Ookla trademarks used under license. Unlimited on our network. Customers on voice plan may notice speeds lower than other customers and further reduction if using more than 50 gigs a month due to data prioritization. Video streams and SD on this plan. Home internet pricing after $20 a monthly bill credit plus $5 per line without autopay. Debit or bank account required. See 5G device coverage and access details at T-Mobile.com.
David here with Royal Pest Services. It's back. Our summer Centricon Termite Special. New installs begin as low as $249. And if you have existing Centricon, but your renewal is through the roof, we can transfer you to Royal at no cost. Visit RoyalPestServices.com to schedule a free estimate.
All right, Prosser here, and I've been telling you about Chad and Sandy. They make the promise. Let me show you some of the proof. This is Nicoletta and Daniel in Panther Creek. We don't recommend this, but we bought our new house before we sold our old one. Then worst case scenario happened. Our old home failed to sell in a year with another realtor. Finally, we got smart. We hired Chad and Sandy, and they sold it in 10 days above asking price. These are the results you're getting with Chad and Sandy at chadandsandy.com. Area homes are selling, but you got to have the right people on your side. Maybe you want max price. Doesn't matter if you're buying or selling. Maybe you just want to sell right now. Well, fast, easy, and stress-free, that's what Chad and Sandy bring to you. They have this guarantee. They guarantee your home sold at an agreed-upon price and deadline, or they will buy it. They're the local real estate experts you can trust for all of your real estate needs. Go to chadandsandy.com today. That's chadandsandy.com, or call that help hotline, 904-414-6200.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Jaguars Today on 1010XL.
There it is. Our man, Mike DeRocco. Everything he says, so true. Happy day one of the 2025 season, D-Rock. First day.
In day one.
You're locked in now,
of
man.
Our brand new ESPN app. Did you see that?
Oh, I know. Well, I hear they're pushing the app hard.
Yeah.
I saw your boy Adam Scheffler.
Yes.
Tweet that. The morning guys call him
The
Schniffer.
best part of the app for Jaguars fans is, without question, the little SC4U little thing there where like
Sports Center for you.
Sports Center for you. If you favorite the Jags, you'll get every morning at 7 a.m. You'll get a bunch of Jags news, some videos, people talking about the Jags, and 3 to 4 times a week you will get a video or a moment, 30 to 60 seconds of my big old head filling your screen there, talking about the Jaguars.
That is the best
part.
part.
I can't imagine, like, now everybody in Jacksonville will know what it's like to be my wife and see me at 7 a.m.
Oh, dear.
So, there you go. Congratulations, Jacksonville.
Wow,
that's what you got.
You took that a leap too far, okay?
Is the headshot current, or is it from about 10, 15 years ago?
No, it's like video.
Okay.
Like,
even better.
Live, yeah, up to the minute.
Well, it ain't live, but
it's filmed right.
Yeah, but
recent.
it's a really cool thing we're doing. SC for you, and like whoever you favorite, whatever teams you favorite, you'll get all that in the morning. It's like a recap and a primer for the next day.
If I favorite the Yankees, can I get you saying good things about them?
You can get me. I can tell you some things about the Yankees.
Can you?
Now?
Most home runs in 2 consecutive games in Major League history.
That's impressive. Like I want to hate Judge. I do. I want to hate Aaron Judge, and I can't. I just can't.
Nah. That's all right. We've don't worry, people. We're not going to spend the next 5 minutes talking baseball.
Jorge Posada was not one of my favorite Yankees, though.
He peed on his hands, D-Rock, to toughen him up. That's the legend of Jorge Posada. That's the thing that stands out to most people. Anyway, so Cephus off the roster, obviously waived injured. So you've got those options out there in the poll today. And like we said, somebody asked, who's the best special teamer? How would you answer that out of the people competing to earn a roster spot? Because I think they do different things on special teams. But who brings the most value on special teams out of the 6 remaining guys vying for 1 or 2 spots at wide receiver?
Probably Trammell and Brayboy.
Brayboy?
Yeah, at that point. I mean, I think Trammell was a returner. Was he the first punt returner up after Parker last week? So that's obviously a clue that they like him.
Done that too, though.
Yeah, I mean, they've kind of rotated a little bit. They like Trammell's receiving ability as well. I mean, he catches everything, and he's able to play in the slot. The one thing they're missing, which maybe gives Brayboy a little bit of an advantage, is they want a bigger receiver. Outside of Brian Thomas Jr., they don't have that big physical, tall.
I mean, he's 6 foot. Like 200 pounds. Like, I don't even think of him as a bigger receiver.
6'2".
6'2"? I got him listed at 6 foot.
Who? Brian Thomas?
Oh, Brayboy. Oh, no, I'm sorry. I'm looking at, I got him at
6'1", 199 for Brayboy. But that's what they have here.
I got him at 6 foot 199.
I'm looking at the official Jaguars
that's
roster.
fine. I would trust that more.
Yeah,
you know,
they want, ideally, like I said before the break, they want Tim Jones' size and special teams ability and Josh Cephus receiving ability. So they'll look at cuts when the cuts come out next week, and whoever makes that initial 53-man roster might not be the guy there as the 5th or 6th receiver on Thursday.
It's kind of crazy because you look at the market right now. Like Sky Moore gets dealt. Sky Moore has not been able to crack an egg in the NFL. But San Francisco's that desperate that they need a guy that they will give up a little anything to get him from Kansas City. Devon Bailey, who was a 7th-round pick last year by Denver. They've had some younger guys emerge. Troy Franklin had a big game with 2 touchdowns last week. They drafted Pat Bryant, who went to Atlantic Coast High School by
local kid,
Illinois University. And so they felt like Bailey, who played well down the stretch last year in the second half of the season, was expendable. They got a 4th and a 7th for him, right? So I wonder, and he is that guy. He's like 6'3". He's a big potential red zone type weapon, but
that's a
at this stage, that's a steep price to pay.
Well, I was going to say it for, and I'm blanking on who traded for him.
New Orleans.
New Orleans. Okay.
Yeah.
So he'll be significant in New Orleans. That's a lot of money to give up for a 5th guy here.
I mean, he might be the 3rd receiver in New Orleans there because you got Olave, you got Rashid Shaheed. They are faster, quick cut in and out of break guys more so. I think Vele's more of a big-bodied red zone weapon type guy. Did I say Vele or say Brayboy? I don't know which I said.
I thought you said Vele.
Okay, because I now they're all floating around in my head a little bit right here. D-Rock keeping 4 running backs, all 4?
Yes. Trying to make sure you get Jackson back on the practice squad if you can.
How amenable to listening to offers for either ETN or Bigsby? Because, thinking about this, if you wanted to trade for a running back, right? If you're a team out there that's not satisfied, maybe you get an injury this weekend, whatever the case may be, ETN going to cost you over $5 million, right, this year. So,
and you don't know if you'll get him back either.
Right. And so is Tank a more attractive trade target?
From the financial and contract standpoint,
team control for 2 years, right? So if you're a team going, hey, Jacksonville, you got 4 tailbacks there. Typically, teams keep 3. Might teams be more inclined to come after Tank Bigsby if they had a need? If that were the case, do you think they'd listen to offers on either one of those guys?
You always listen. But here's the thing, and I keep going back to this. You trade one of those guys now, you're going into the season with 2 rookies who have never played in an NFL game and 1 guy that's played in an NFL game. And if it's Tank who is here, we know Tank's not a good pass receiver, or has had, I shouldn't say not a good, but has had some issues as a pass receiver. Not a good pass blocker. The best pass protector is LaQuint Allen, the rookie. Tootin's had some issues with ball security in college, so you got to wonder how that is.
And
and it could change.
Since that first day of rookie minicamp, has he had any ball security issues that you can
recall? I don't recall any.
I don't either.
But it's still it's preseason. We got to see what it's like in the regular season. A month into the regular season, I think that it would be a little bit more likely.
Like you've seen them get their feet under them.
If after the first month, the first 4 games, and Tootin and Allen are just killing it, then one of those guys becomes more. And we all know that's a position guys get banged up all the time. So something could arise early in the season, and if they feel comfortable enough with those other guys, then maybe.
I will say this, though. If you compare it to the situation in Tampa last year that Liam Cohen orchestrated, okay, let's say that you traded ETN, right? So you got Bigsby, who's a 3rd-year player this year, and 2 rookies. Last year, they had Rachaad White, 3rd-year player, Sean Tucker, 2nd-year player, and a rookie. So only 1 year of experience difference in those depth charts. Now, the skill sets may not be the same because Rachaad White is a very good receiving back, and that doesn't match up with Tank Bigsby right there. And, so anyway.
And if yes, Bucky emerged, but they didn't dump Rashad White.
No.
Yeah, I mean.
No, but they had Rashad White. Sean Tucker was like an afterthought, only played when those guys were banged up, basically, or got 1 or 2 touches a game. So you had Rashad White, and you had Bucky Irving. And Rashad White started like 14 of the 17 games last year, even though Bucky Irving was clearly the weapon in the second half of the season. I'm just saying they had a 3-man room with not much more experience than the Jags would have under a similar circumstance. But how do you think ETN has responded? I feel like I
think he's had a really good camp.
I think he's had a good offseason overall.
Overall, I think the staff likes when it's a new staff coming in, they don't have any kind of real true idea about what these guys are.
Right.
You know, they kind of know you come in, you look at the tape, you know, yeah, exactly. And you know, there's people inside the building on the scouting and personnel side that have been there for a while, and they will talk and you know, you get an idea, you sort of form an initial opinion on what the guy is going to be. And my understanding is they loved him more than they thought they were going to. Their first impression, and before they even got on the field, they were like, you know, they thought X, and then they saw him on the field. He had a great spring, great offseason, come back here, been fantastic as a receiver, running the ball hard. You know, they loved him or liked him a lot more than they thought they were going to. So that's a positive for, you know, obviously ETN having a chance to probably be, because I think we all thought going into the season, Bigsby was probably going to take over as the number 1, or going into the camp, that Bigsby was probably going to take over number 1.
And at camp, I mean, those first couple of weeks of practice, he was getting the first rep.
Right.
You know, even if it was, you called it a 1A, 1B or a co-starters, somebody has to get the first rep, and he was almost every day getting
and that has switched.
It has.
So I think he's been one of their best.
I'm sorry to interrupt you. It almost switched in the preseason game, right? Like, I felt like almost up to that game, the first preseason game, Bigsby was that guy, and then they ran ETN out with the first team offense and gave him that entire first drive. And so
it's going to be a committee approach. We all know it.
Yeah.
I mean, will it be the 2 rookies? They want to get the rookies on the field, so that's going to complicate things too in terms of how everything's broken down. But it's not a bad problem to have, that you've got 4 backs that you feel like, okay, we can use these guys in similar and different ways. Allen has been really good. Look, he's the guy I had no expectations for was LaQuint Allen. When you're telling me on draft night, boy, he's a great pass blocker. That, you know, we love him as a pass blocker. I'm like, okay, well, I had no expectations for him, or very, very low. He's a tough SOB. He's been like every shoving match that's
he's in the middle of everything.
Him.
Yeah,
I'm like, I'm not exaggerating. And then he's throwing haymakers with the linebacker, which, you know, they're both wearing helmets. You probably shouldn't be punching another guy in the helmet with your hand. But like, that's the toughness that has been missing from this roster in recent years. So he's been a huge surprise for me.
We talked about, he was number 2 behind Ezra Cleveland for me in terms of pleasant surprises of camp so far, because we had heard about his ability to catch the ball. Okay, all right, that's reflected. His pass blocking, which sometimes you can see, you know, in a particularly good pickup, you know, if there's a violent collision. But it's more when the ball's in his hands, man, and he's looking for contact. He'll try to make you miss if he can.
Right.
But he's not going to shy away from contact, and he's out there delivering blows out there on the field. He does play with a big edge, and that, to me, has been as noticeable as anything.
There's not been enough edge on this roster in a long time.
Agreed.
They need more of that.
Well, we'll see if they've got enough, in your opinion, on the offensive line when we return in a moment. Let's talk about how that whole thing is shaping up. If you want to get in today and ask D-Rock anything about his coverage of the Jacksonville Jaguars over the course of training camp, you can do it on the Checkmate Coatings phone lines at 641-1010. You're listening to Jaguars Today on 1010XL and 92.5 FM. Hey, folks, Mike Dempsey here for big number 1, Duval Ford. Number 1, and has been for a long, long time. Duval Ford has been serving Jacksonville for over 110 years. They used to wholesale cars directly from Henry Ford himself, a legacy business here in Jacksonville. They're going to be here for a long, long time. They're going to take care of your vehicles, whether you're buying an F-150, a Super Duty, a Bronco from them. They've got everything. Or you just want to take it in for service. Over 90 service bays over on Cassett Avenue. Big number 1, Duval Ford, online at duvalford.com.
Jaguars Today.
You're at the home of the Jaguars in the Renewal by Anderson Custom Windows and Doors Studios. Superior products, exceptional service.
Hey, Jacksonville DDH. Dreamfinders Danny Hicken here with the scoop from Dreamfinders Homes, your national builder of the year. We've got first-year interest rates as low as 2.99% and homes in 20-plus communities throughout Northeast Florida. If you're house hunting, make sure your first pick Dreamfinders Homes, the proud official home builder of the PGA Tour, the Florida Gators, and your Jacksonville Jaguars. Visit dfhsalesevent.com today and tell them Dreamfinders Danny sent you.
Jaguars Today Thursday is towed by Cannons of Jacksonville for all your towing needs.
Daly's Dash is not only your Jaguars game day stop, but a great place to grab a meal any day of the week. To honor the Jags and the fans, we've crafted the Duval Sub. The Duval comes with freshly sliced turkey, ham, melted cheddar, and habanero jack cheese, topped with crisp lettuce, fresh tomatoes, and a double portion of our secret sauce, all served on a fresh roll. Come by your local's Daly's Dash today to get your delicious Duval Sub. Daly's is the official convenience store sponsor of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Hi, this is Dave Barker. Want to grow your hair back?
IHRS, right here in Jacksonville, is the only hair transplant clinic in the Southeast to offer multi-unit hair grafting and the 45-minute PRP treatments. Grow your hair back. Call now for a free in-person evaluation. 904-777-IHRS, 904-777-4477, or visit hairforme.com.
Are you trapped at a high-rate mortgage, watching your hard-earned money vanish every month? Stop right now. At Loan Pronto, they are delivering the lowest mortgage rates in 3 years. Hey, Prosser here. Loan Pronto's rate reduction home loan program is a streamlined, low-cost way to slash your house payments by hundreds of dollars a month. Lock in at a fixed rate as low as 4.99% APR and close in as little as 2 weeks. No appraisal needed in most cases. And here's the kicker. You can skip your next 2 house payments entirely. Don't wait. Rates this low won't last. Call Loan Pronto now for your free, no-obligation quote. Loan Pronto is amazing. So start now by calling 904-999-1508. That's 904-999-1508. Or visit loanpronto.com to lock in your new low rate and skip those next 2 payments. 999-1508 or loanpronto.com. Equal housing lender, NMLS 1661781. Subject to lender approval, NMLS, consumeraccess.org.
Right now, they're on their way to disrupt your life, make you uncomfortable, and rob you. Don't bother calling the police. They can't help. That's right. Summer heat and humidity are about to attack North Florida again. You know what to do. Call Mike Merritt. Mike Merritt's Heating and Air has a license to chill. When heat and humidity are attacking you, Mike Merritt provides a comfortable chill at a bargain price. Mike has been keeping North Florida comfortable for 30 years. Mike Merritt technicians are never paid commissions, meaning you'll never be pressured to buy something you don't need. And Mike Merritt knows cooling issues can arise anytime. They don't just happen during business hours. So Mike Merritt never charges overtime fees. When you need us, we're here for you. Remember, in the fight against heat and humidity, Mike Merritt has a license to chill. Visit merrittair.com. Florida license number CACO 50384.
1010XL is presented by Farrah & Farrah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Now, more Jaguars Today on 1010XL.
I don't know, D-Rock. They're creating memes of you out there, which is fantastic.
Is it really?
For my purposes, yes.
No, that one made me laugh.
D-Rock is Winnie the Poohing the hell out of that honey.
That
right
made me
now.
laugh. I will admit
out there.
that.
Tag D-Rock at ESPN Toronto.
How do you not tag that?
Let us know. Play that
We
again,
need to
honey.
poo the hell out of that thing.
There you go. Classic. By the way, if you have Duval Doom on your side, well, he'll change his mind in 5 minutes. But that aside, you're probably doing something okay from a Jaguar standpoint. He says the SC for You section is blank and cool at ESPN.
He must not have seen my video then yet.
Well, no, come on, man. People love you and your videos. All right.
I think it's really cool. I mean, it's the whole thing that we're doing, and I'm all in. Let's go.
All in.
I'm excited about
company
this
man,
season.
Mike DeRocco.
Well, I mean,
hey, look, ESPN.
It's more about. I mean, it's about the season. Yeah.
Are you allowed to critique the NFL now, though? Now that you guys are in bed with them?
Well, I told Baselli the other day, I was like, I own part of this franchise now.
Yes.
I need to be consulted on every roster decision that's made. And I'm unable to tell you Tony Baselli's response.
What do you get? Like 1/1,000,000th of a share of NFL equity every paycheck?
Sure.
Like that?
I don't know. Yeah, I'd take that at this point, you know. Yeah, that was crazy, huh? I mean, that thing's been in the works for 2-3 years, I think.
Did I hear? I heard a rumor that no, seriously, like a broadcasting kind of rumor that ESPN is going to take over the MLB TV app.
I heard that as well.
You heard that as well, right?
That I don't
Which
know.
concerns me only because the way it is right now is like perfect. You know, like if you want to take it over, brand it and leave it alone, that's awesome.
Probably not going to happen that way, though.
I have a feeling you're right, Denmark. So I don't know.
Just
I
like
had not
Red
heard
Zone.
that. That's
Yeah, it was a rumor. I don't know. It could have been one of those things, man, because you see stuff on social media and it's like, man, you got to verify it 16 different ways before you can roll with it. All right, D-Rock, let's roll with this offensive line a little bit here.
Okay.
I said yesterday that for me, Ezra Cleveland is the most pleasant surprise of training camp because you came in, and I think the consensus feeling was if anyone's going to get pushed out, it's Wyatt Milam pushing out Ezra Cleveland.
Correct.
Yet it's turned into if anyone's rock solid, it's
that
Ezra
guy.
Cleveland and Hainsey, maybe.
Yes,
those
those two, without
right?
question.
And so on the other side, you had McCary, who was maybe seen as the safest guy, and he's got the best battle on his hands. So let's go through it. Opening day, starting five, barring any further injury setbacks, assuming everybody other than Cole Van Lannon, because we don't know his timetable. Let's say Anton's good, Chuma Edoga is good, okay, health-wise, right?
Okay.
Who's your opening day left tackle?
Walker Little.
How close is that competition? If it's not Walker Little, who's the primary guy he's got to look over his shoulder for? Is it Anton flipping sides?
Yeah, look, when you're doing that, that tells me that, look, you want to train guys, I get it, but you've got other guys on that roster that can play left tackle that a guy like Anton's never played, never taken practice snaps there or
Not
whatever.
Not the pros, but he has in college.
Right, yeah, but again, I mean, this is his, third year in the league? So,
yes.
Yeah. But I think he's going to be the starter opening day.
Okay.
I mean.
Walker Little.
How
do you think he's done in camp? Has he had a pretty solid camp?
I don't think the tackles have been outstanding. I think they've been okay.
Okay.
Which maybe for Anton has been a little bit more consistent than he was in the spring. Because when your head coach is saying, when Anton wants to go, he can go, that's a problem. We talked about that, yeah.
And do you think he's responded to that?
Yeah,
in your opinion?
To a degree, yeah, absolutely. He's been much more consistent than he was in the spring, and he's probably there. If you said to them, who is your best pure pass blocking tackle on the roster, they would say Anton.
But the consistency's
not there.
All right, so you think Walker Little opens as a starting left tackle? I do too, by the way.
Yes.
I'm not trying to play gotcha here. If you were to say whose opening day starting position is safer at this moment? Is it Walker Little or is it Anton? Who is more like, if you said, I got to bet the mortgage for this month on one of those guys being the opening day starter at that position? You may feel that both of them are going to be, but you can only choose one. Who's the bet?
I mean, I think they're both. It's like 95, 98% that they're both going to start.
So you think it's that high?
I do. I think
them.
those two are the opening day starter. Absolutely.
Okay, because I'm just asking because they other guys in, as we see, Anton flips over to left sometimes. We see other guys getting shots at right. Anton not active right now, banged up last week. So other guys are getting opportunities. I just wanted to see. So you think it's high 90s for either one of them?
Correct.
Okay, so almost mortal locks. Cleveland's your left guard.
Yes, without question.
Hainsey's your center.
Yes, without question.
McCary, Edoga.
Edoga at right tackle.
Edoga.
Right guard, excuse me. I think Edoga is going to be the right guard.
Okay, so McCary is like jack of all trades, swing tackle,
swing guard at this point, yes.
First man up across. If Hainsey were to miss a game, McCary at center, Monheim at center.
Probably McCary right now.
Just because of the experience factor.
Right.
So McCary may be literally a heartbeat away from playing any of the 5 positions.
Right. He might be their most valuable lineman right now.
And even if he's not a starter.
Correct.
Because he's the most versatile
Because he can play
piece.
all over the place. Right.
If Walker Little were to go down in the game, right?
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, we don't want any of this to happen, but just playing out scenarios, you'd flip Anton to the left, you think? Or do you think you'd put what would it be? Or
Fred Johnson?
Fred Johnson, okay.
Yeah.
How safe is his roster spot, in your opinion?
Fred Johnson?
Yes.
Oh, I think he's making his roster.
I do too.
Yeah,
But like,
I don't.
What's your if 98% that Walker Little and Anton start? What's the degree of confidence on Fred Johnson being on the roster? 90%?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, because I think so too. But others have felt like his play and effort is inconsistent at times. So Cole Van Lannon, we presume will
He's
be on
their,
this.
in perfect world, in their mind, he's the swing tackle.
Okay.
They like the way he's before he got hurt, they liked his offseason. Now, the problem with Van Lannon is he's missed all the rest of camp, so it's going to take him a while to get back into football shape.
And in the meantime, you got McCary who can do the job.
You've got other guys. And Udoga can play right tackle, too, which he did in the spring. So you've got a lot of options. It's move guys around.
Where's Wyatt Milam most likely to get on the field?
That's a good question. Right now, I would probably say right guard if anything were to happen there. Yeah, if Anton gets hurt, maybe McCary goes in at right tackle, or they slide Udoga out.
Over.
Yeah, and then he goes back in at right guard. They can do a lot of different things there, but I would think
do you think they feel
if Ezra got hurt and couldn't play, and Wylam was healthy because he's not right now. I saw him yesterday; he was limping a little bit. He's obviously got a lower body thing. Then I think he could be the guy that went right in at.
Right, but he's obviously not pushing Ezra at this point in time.
That's one of those other guys that has an edge that they love.
All right, how do you think he's fared as how do you think they think he would handle playing tackle in a pinch? And would it only be right, or do you think he played left in college, right? Now, I understand it's college to the pros, big difference.
Right.
But far down the list of options?
I think they have better options there, yes.
All
I
right.
think it would be better for them if they moved Udoga and then him slide in at right guard, for example.
All right, so you're Little, Cleveland, Hainsey, Udoga, Harrison, opening day with Fred, no particular order on these reserves, Fred Johnson, Wyatt Milam, Jonah Monheim, Cole Van Lannon, and Patrick McCary.
Yes.
Boom. There's your 10.
That's my 9 or 10.
That's
however
10.
many it is.
Yeah,
10,
and that's what I projected last week as well. Tony and Dylan didn't have Fred Johnson on the roster, but I do think he's I feel more comfortable projecting 10 still at this point in time. We'll see how it plays out on Saturday. All right, let's take a timeout. Let's come back. Let's finish up on the offense with some of the skill guys in the wide receiver core and the tight end room as well with Mike DiRocco of ESPN. Your question of the day out there with Joshua Cephus being waived with an injury designation yesterday. Which wide receiver is the most likely out of these options to be the next man up in that room on the initial 53? Chandler Brayboy, Trenton Irwin, Austin Trammell, or any one of Cam Camper, Eli Pancol, or Dorian Singer is a combined option for you there as well. You can vote one click at MD_1010XL on the X or Twitter platform. More with Mike DiRocco straight ahead on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Jaguars Today.
From the Renewal by Anderson Custom Windows and Doors Studios of 1010XL. Feel the roar of the Jaguars. Next up, the Miami Dolphins. Saturday at 7 on the home of the Jacksonville Jaguars. 1010XL.
Yo, ET here, and I need you to beat the heat this summer with cool escapes and non-stop fun in Clay County. Tackle indoor adventures head on. Throw axes at Live by Axe or smash your stress away at Just Smash That. Then kick back with drinks, good food, and fandom vibes at Nakama Anime Bar or Leaderboard Arcade and Bar. Whether you're blowing off steam or just looking to chill, Clay County got your perfect indoor getaway. Find your cool at exploreclay.com. That's exploreclay.com.
Jaguars Today Thursday is brought to you by
Cannons of Jacksonville.
Jags fans, a new Everbank Performance account could be your ticket to London this October. The Everbank London Getaway Experience. One lucky winner and a guest get round-trip airfare, hotel accommodations, and tickets to see the Jags play in London. Everbank.com/London for official rules. No purchase necessary to enter or win. Open to legal residents of the United States and D.C. 18 and older. Everbank London Getaway sweeps entry period 7/28/25 to 9/5/25. Enter and get official rules and details at everbank.com/London.
He thinks he knows what he's talking about.
Of course.
Find out if he does.
Is there anything else we need to know?
Catch CBS Sports senior NFL writer Pete Prisco every Friday afternoon on The Franchi Show. Brought to you by Showtime Sports Cards and Collectibles.
Chicken Salad Chick has scratch-made Southern-style chicken salad in every bite. It's quick and delicious, so why wait? Come taste the best chicken salad today at Town Center, Durban Park, Butler Point, and now in Ortega Park. Chicken Salad Chick.
Summer's winding down, and we know you want to enjoy what's left of it. But before you celebrate this Labor Day weekend, plan ahead and know all your options. If you drink, don't get behind the wheel. Instead, designate a sober driver or catch a ride service. And if you are the designated sober driver, commit to staying sober. Celebrate responsibly and remember to drive sober or get pulled over. This message brought to you by the Florida Department of Transportation.
Jaguars football is officially back. Be there as number 2 overall draft pick Travis Hunter, quarterback Trevor Lawrence, and new head coach Liam Cohen take the field for the first time during the 2025 NFL regular season. Secure your seats for when the Jaguars take on the Panthers September 7th by going to jaguars.com/tickets or call 904-633-2000. We'll see you at the bank.
Bueller. Stay cooler with Bueller.
Hey, Jason, got a minute?
Always. What's on your mind?
This time of year, my air conditioner is running non-stop. Hot all day, hot all night. It has to run constantly just to keep up.
Well, that's what they do.
But if something happens to it in the middle of a 2-week heat wave, I'm in trouble, Jason. I can't wait 3 days or 2 days or even the next day for service. If you can't get someone here today, I'm sweating by tonight. What if it breaks, Jason?
You call me, pal. That's what we do. Bueller Air and Plumbing.
But you're probably swamped with calls from everyone else's AC that ran nonstop and then broke in a heat wave, so they called you because that's what you do.
But we always have room for an emergency. At Bueller Air and Plumbing, we have techs standing by because we know these things happen.
So I don't need to worry. Wow. That time you calmed me down without even using the sunglasses.
Oh, I was reaching for them.
Stay cooler with Bueller.
Visit BuellerAir.com.
Transmission troubles? I'm Robin Sidbury, owner of Action Transmission Specialist on Merrill Road. So come in and see how we can help solve your transmission troubles. We service all makes and models. Remember, get traction. Call Action at 744-0755.
1010XL is presented by Farrah & Farrah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Mike DeRocco is protected by Lee and Kate's Glass. New look, same great service on 1010XL.
Day one, D-Rock 2025. How many seasons now on Jaguars Today for you? Any clue? What, a half dozen? Something like that? More?
I don't remember. When did Ryan O'Halloran leave?
Is that when it was?
I took over.
Took over O'Halloran's spot.
O'Halloran.
He came crawling back to us over broken glass, wanting the spot back. Get out of here, O'Halloran. Yeah. All right, we got D-Rock, man. We finally upgraded. No, he did not do that, but nevertheless, it's been a while, right? Because have you been in all the breakfast bowls since the very beginning, right?
I won second year.
Okay, I won the first. I haven't won since. Taylor won one, and then Tony's got 3 in a row.
Yeah.
So that's 6. So this
3
is
in
at least,
a row?
Yes.
2018?
Yes. 3 in a row.
Wow.
I know. He's not here. Say bad
Kansas City
things.
Chiefs?
No, they never won 3 in a row, man. So, Tony's won 3 in a row. Breakfast Bowl returns in 2 weeks. What's on the menu?
Oh, I've already bought the milk and cereal for a week. My first
get that
week.
junk out of here,
man. I don't need your sour milk. All right, this better be a good
buttermilk.
one.
Don't worry, that keeps.
This is the first time we've had the previous year's last place finisher.
Yeah, I think that's
by the opening day breakfast.
Yeah.
I think so too. Right, so might as well throw this out there now since we're kind of on this angle. I posted this yesterday. How do you get into a Jaguars Today fantasy league? Here's the thing about the Jaguars Today fantasy leagues. We play in them. You know, we put Jaguars Today on it. We're going to play in those leagues. Okay?
Huh.
I'm just saying, if you're going to lend your name or your show's name to a fantasy league, you should play in that fantasy league, right? Otherwise, what are we doing? That's what I would say. So we've got 3 of them. They're the week of Labor Day. That Monday night. Stop your snickering. That Monday night, you're going to be in the Monday night draft? Is that you, Monday?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes,
you're in that.
yes.
Daniel Murphy's in that.
We're going to end up with an all-JU final, baby.
Hey, you might, and I think Ozier's going to be in that one. I got to get all the people who are kind of invited ahead of time slotted, and I'll know exactly where my spots fall. We're going to only have like 20-ish spots available across the leagues, right? Because you got 42 spots in 3 leagues, but Dylan plays in all of them. Tony, myself, Gerard's going to play in all of them this year. So DG, I think, is in the Labor Day draft as well. Well, he's in all of them. So there you go. Smart.
That is how that works. Yes.
I mean, I'm a cutting-edge guy. So these are 14-team leagues. No trades allowed in the leagues because I just don't need somebody going, oh, this is unfair, man. This league I'm just not going to deal with it, right? Just not going to. There's not some massive prize. Just want everybody to have a good time. You can brag, oh, yeah, Dempsey thinks he's good. I kicked his butt. Whatever. Fine. That's kind of what they're for, right? To have a little bit of interaction. So we're going to draft Labor Day night at 9:05. We're going to draft the Tuesday and Wednesday Labor Day week at 6 o'clock in 3 different leagues, obviously, right? Bunch of people. Who else we got in there? ET's going to be in one of the leagues.
Heck yeah.
Fred Taylor?
McManus. I'm hoping. I'm going to put out the bat signal for Freddie. I mean, he's got an invite. He's done it before, but Fred's like, how many? Get me in a fantasy league. Then I say, all right, Fred, here you go. Here are your choices. Oh, boss.
He is busy, though.
I know he is. But, Fred Taylor kind of elevates it. With apologies to Tom McManus and David Garrard, people are more excited to play against Fred Taylor. What can I tell you? I'm sure they're excited to play against you guys as well if you're listening. Jamal St. Cyr confirmed with me yesterday. He's going to play. He's in the Tuesday draft. Demetrius Harvey and John Shipley are in the Wednesday draft. So
sir.
If you get into one of the spots, you're going to play against some of the Jaguar media or maybe some former players as well. There are no entry fees. They're only for fun. So how do you get a spot? Please listen closely or go to Twitter where I posted a thread that I'm going to bump every day for the next several days, okay? Send one single email. Just one. Less than 2. Definitely less than 2.
Now, what if I send
3? If you send 0, you got a better chance than if you send 2. Okay? Because I may go, what about this guy who calls the show? I wonder if he'd like a spot. Anyway, send one email to MikeD@1010XL.com. Subject line, fantasy. You understand? All this is just a process of weeding people out. Okay? If you can't follow the rules, I can't trust that you're going to show up for the draft on time. 25 words or less. Tell me why you think you deserve a spot. That's it. Right? Just, and I'll tell you what, there are a couple of people that have mentioned some things that you only know these things or phrases if you listen to the show. That's who we want in the league. We want people who listen to Jaguars Today who are Jaguar fans. So,
could we make it so if somebody, the first person to include in there that they will Winnie the Pooh the hell out of that league?
I'm not going to guarantee, but that may already have been in there yesterday.
What?
I'm not kidding you. No, I got I'm probably up into triple digits already on how many people have sent emails trying to get in, and we just posted this yesterday. So 25 words or less, why you deserve a spot, include your full name, the best phone number to reach you. We almost never call you. And which day or days are best for you to draft. If you don't care, say you're available to draft any day. That doesn't count against your 25 words. And as I've said here, double check before you hit send that everything is included in that one email. If you send me a follow-up email, you're not going to like your chances to get in. I'm just telling you.
Hey, just circling back.
Exactly. Hey, am I in? Or I forgot to, or this, or whatever. We're all going to host them on ESPN because they are our overlords. Mike DeRocca would have you believe. But they will be on the ESPN fantasy platform. Can we get a button on the app or on the new SC for you that just takes you right to the Jaguars Today leagues? That would be great. It probably do have a fantasy button on there.
There is.
I'm sure they do. So that's it.
I'll work on that.
That's basically it. We're not asking you to, I don't want any bribes. People try to bribe me. Hey, I'll take you to play golf. I don't want any of that stuff. Just a funny thing that indicates you are a listener of the program and long supporting, I don't want to say long suffering, but long supporting Jacksonville Jaguar fan. It's for Jaguar fans, have a little bit of community, play against a few former players, some members of the media. That's the extent of it. Boom. All right. So there you have it.
Love it.
I've explained it all to you now. Now you don't need Twitter to get in. All right. So let's take a time out here so we don't get behind. I do want to talk about wide receivers when we come back. All right. Brian Thomas Jr. dealing with some drop issues. Is that a big deal? Is it not a big deal? Travis Hunter, your early season expectations. Can Parker Washington push for even more playing time than we anticipated? Some of these issues we'll get into with Mike DeRocco as we come back in hour number 2 of Jaguars Today. Tony Smith with Bulls football. You'll hear him tonight. He'll be back with me tomorrow. But we got D-Rock in for the first Thursday of the 2025 season. This is Jaguars Today on 1010XL and 92.5 FM.
Jaguars Today from the Renewal by Anderson Custom Windows and Doors Studios. All those people who live in other places wish they lived here. Why didn't we do this sooner? 1010XL, proud to live in Duval.
Hello, Jacksonville. This is Dr. Kevin Kaplan, team physician for your Jacksonville Jaguars. At Orthopedic Specialists of Jacksonville, we know not every injury happens on Sundays. Sometimes it's flag football, weekend yard work, or just playing with your kids. That's why we built a team of fellowship-trained orthopedic surgeons, experts in everything from knees and shoulders to spine and sports injuries. Whether you're chasing championships or chasing your dog, we've got you. Learn more at osjax.com. That's osjax.com.
You're locked into Jaguars Today Thursday with Cannons of Jacksonville.
Are you an experienced chiller technician and looking for a role where your skills are truly valued? It's time to make the move to Local 234, plumbers, pipe fitters, and HVAC technicians. You'll get top pay, comprehensive health and welfare benefits for your family, and a pension that doesn't come out of your pocket. Join the team that's got your back. Local 234, proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Visit UA234.com to send your resume today.
Equal opportunity employer.
Soft takes are boring. That's why I dropped the hammer on the Frangie Show. I'm Hayes Carlion. Listen for Hammer Time with Hayes, weekday afternoons on 1010XL.
Hammer Time with Hayes, driven by Kia on Atlantic.
Hey, Jacksonville, it's Dan Hicken with a game changer. I've tested the field, and Checkmate Coatings is my new go-to for durable, jaw-dropping floor coatings. Better play, better results.
I'm Brendan from Checkmate Coatings. Our precision coatings make your floors the MVP of any space.
Slam dunk your floors at checkmatecoatings.com. Checkmate Coatings, your floor's missing piece.
Checkmate Coatings, your floor's missing piece.
The flagship station of the Jacksonville Jaguars. WJXL AM Jacksonville Beach. WJXL FM Jacksonville Beach.
This is Nah Lawrence Stample, national champion and owner of NLS Cleaning, your commercial and residential exterior cleaning experts, where we do pressure washing, gutter cleaning, and paver sealing, plus window cleaning, the right way. Football season's back. Let us get your home or business looking its best. Mention this ad and get 20% off your first service. That's right, 20% off, but only through September 30th. Call us at 708-8802. That's 708-8802. NLS Cleaning, championship service every time.
Craving a cold one? Well, zip into one of the great gate locations you see all over town and pick up a cold Bud Light, or a Natty, or an Ultra, maybe a 12-pack of the King of Beers, or some cold Coronas. It's all happening at your local gate convenience store. Slide on in today.
Let's get the work done.
Training camp is here.
Up, quick feet, quick feet, quick feet.
1010XL's training camp coverage is backed by Roland Reach Plumbing and Green Acres Sporting Goods.
Go, here we go. Let's go. It's live now. Let's go.
UB40, the Relentless Tour 2025. This Saturday night, St. Augustine Amphitheater, with special guest, The Fix. Get tickets now at AXS.com.
I'm here with Clayton Bromberg of Underwood. Underwood has completed 75 years in business, and now you are starting your next 75 years. If you were going to simplify things, what is the single most important thing in Underwood's history, and what will be the most important thing in your future?
Frank, that's simple. Our honesty and integrity. You know, our founder, H.F. Underwood's favorite saying was, know the truth and tell the truth. That's why we're the longest-standing member of the American Gem Society in Florida, because we know you have to have the knowledge about gemstones before you can tell the truth about them. That's why we continue to educate our staff through the Gemological Institute of America and the American Gem Society. In fact, today, Underwoods has the largest American Gem Society credentialed staff of professionals east of the Mississippi River. So come by and see why we're looking forward to the next 75 years and let one of our experts assist you.
That's at Underwoods, serving excellence since 1928. In San Marco, Avondale, the Shops of Ponte Vedra, Underwood Jewelers.
This is your local sports update. I'm RJ Saunders for 1010XL. This update brought to you by Southern Oak Insurance. In advance of his induction into the Naismith Memorial Basketball Hall of Fame, legendary Florida men's basketball coach Billy Donovan will be recognized during an in-game ceremony at the Gators football game against LIU on Saturday, August 30th. Right now, 86 degrees at 10:59. Time and 10 brought to you by Bueller Air and Plumbing. Stay cooler with Bueller.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Mike DeRocco is protected by Lee and Kate's Glass. New look, same great service on 1010XL.
All right, seeing a couple of these from Jamal St. Cyr, who is in the Tuesday draft with us. Excited to have Jamal, part of the ever-expanding Jaguars Today family. Maybe we'll have I don't know how we do it, but I said there's no grand prize. Maybe I'll come up with something and just have the highest scoring team in the championship week, because we're not going to play head-to-head against each other. But
what about the highest scoring team all year?
It's a possibility.
Either way.
It's a possibility. But that gets you in the playoffs, because there'll be at least one spot guaranteed for a high point score, because sometimes you score a lot of points in a fantasy league and you don't have a great record because you run into the wrong team in the wrong week. But anyway, so Jamal is down in South Florida watching the joint practice, and here are a couple of them. Jags O versus Dolphins D. Trevor Lawrence to Brian Thomas, pass incomplete. Zach Seiler in his face would have been a sack. That's not great. Let's see. Jags O versus Dolphins D. Trevor Lawrence sacked by Benito Jones. He beat Patrick McCary in that one. So, again, this is just a couple of snapshots, but it's going to be interesting to see what the overall tenor is of how they match up. D-Rock, this is an offensive line that hasn't played anyone's frontline guys over the last couple of weeks, but hasn't allowed a sack so far in the preseason. So, it'd be fascinating to sit in on some of those evaluation film sessions and see what the coaching staff really feels about how good this group can be. I think they are interchangeable to a large degree, but what is the high-end capability? Time will tell. D-Rock, Brian Thomas, been some frustration from him, been some drops. We looked at his numbers yesterday compared to some of the best in the league. There are a lot of the big-name receivers that get a lot of volume, that drop a lot of passes, right? And I think he dropped 7 last year officially, unofficially, because nobody knows. Different sources have different numbers. But is this a looming concern for you, or is this just, hey, it's training camp, and when the lights come on, he'll be fine?
I actually wrote about all of that for tomorrow. It's running in the morning. Not for me, because I remember last year's start to training camp. He started slow, had some trouble catching the ball, double catching it. And then the Bucs came to town for the joint practices, and everybody was like, okay.
What is
that
this?
kid's pretty good.
Yeah. The Bucs players were saying that.
Yeah, absolutely. And so were the rest of us that had watched, though, and I talked to Brian about it for the story. He's like, it's not frustration. Well, it is frustration, but he's saying, look, I have high expectations for myself. I have high standards. I expect to essentially make every play. So when it doesn't happen, I get a little, he didn't want to, like I said, didn't want to say frustrated, but it's more of just trying to fight through all that. I think there will be no problem with Brian Thomas when the season begins. I also think that when you look at the chemistry that they're all trying to develop together in the new offense, I think even though as much as they've worked in the spring and in the camp and in preseason, that still takes a little bit more time than maybe people want to realize. I mean, how many true full game situations have you gotten? This might be the first time they're getting some true full game situations where they're going against another team's starters for the most part. I think I'm assuming the Dolphins starters are going against the Jag starters here. I think this is probably the best work to kind of judge where that chemistry in the offense is.
Fair to a degree, but when the ball hits your hands, does chemistry matter at that point? The ball's there, catch it.
That's not good. That is not. You're right.
And I'm not trying to overplay because I'm not worried about it, but I'm just saying I'm trying to be a little devil's advocate here.
Liam Cohen essentially said in a quote a couple of weeks ago, when the lights go on, he'll be fine. He's that guy. So, you can read into that like, okay, this guy may not be a great practice player, but when the game starts, I mean, he's all that. So,
all right, well, let's move off of Brian Thomas Jr. We know his role. I mean, when Liam Cohen got here, took the job, he said, we're going to run the offense through that guy. Now, granted, things have changed to some degree. They've added a lot of new skill position guys. Travis Hunter reportedly just standing there without his helmet. He's watching practice today, so they wanted to get him cleared. They feel like it's not, I guess, worth the risk to go out there with the upper body issue that he's dealing with. He did practice to an extent yesterday, but was held out of the team stuff.
Yeah.
Right? He went through individuals, went through position drills, things like that.
I thought he was going to practice today. That was my understanding, but I guess.
Do you think then, do they sprinkle him in on Saturday? The Dolphins are planning to play their starters a little bit, according to Mike McDaniel.
Yeah, no, I don't think he plays Saturday.
So what volume? Look, and I get it. I'm not blind here. I know how many snaps Travis Hunter played in college, but he's not getting that level of rep.
There won't be that many snaps in an NFL game either.
There won't be that many snaps, correct. But in terms of like his preparation, he's not out there going both ways full in these practices because he's not available to do that at this moment, right? So week one, what does it look like with Travis Hunter? Is he a starter in 3 wide receiver sets and a starting corner?
I would be surprised if they run out there in a 3 wide receiver set and he's not a starter. I wouldn't be surprised if they ran out there in base defense and he's not a starter. If they started in nickel, then I would be surprised if he's not a starter. Because Jarian has played really, really well in camp. Christian Braswell has gotten some reps with the first team, and he's played pretty well in camp. So if you wanted or you were concerned about workload in any way, which they say they're not, then you could ease him in a little bit more on defense if you wanted to, if you're the Jags. It's to me, it's the most fascinating non-Trevor Lawrence story is not on the Jaguars, not the fact that, how much is he going to play or what kind of impact he's going to play, is how do they figure out where and when he's going to play? And I think that's going to be a lot of trial and error. They have a plan, and they've been really honest about, hey, we have a plan, but they've also been really honest about that thing could change at literally any second.
Right.
So it's hard for any of us to sit there and say, I expect him to play X on this side and X on that side. But personally, if they run out 3 wide receivers, I would be very surprised that he wasn't a starter if he's healthy and there's no lingering issue there.
De'Ami Brown looked outstanding in OTAs. Has had his moments in camp, but it hasn't been as at the forefront, right? Parker Washington has been.
Right.
How does that play? I mean, is De'Ami just doing his thing and Parker is competing in 4 wide receiver set? How does Parker Washington find playing time? On offense.
Yeah, if you want to give Travis Hunter a break, you can, because of the high level that Parker's performed at, you could slide him in there as the number 3 receiver in the slot. He can get some work outside. He's one of the only guys that they have that they feel comfortable putting at all 3 spots. So, hey, say De'Ami runs a couple of routes deep and he needs the breather, well, then you can throw Parker in there for a snap or 2 to kind of alleviate, some concern about, oh gosh, we only got 2. We got to go, 12 personnel. I mean, whatever they want to do. I think Parker will get somewhere. But I keep going back to this, and I temper the expectations on Parker Washington because he, again, last year had a phenomenal camp. And then Christian Kirk gets hurt, and Evan Ingram gets hurt, and you're like, well, that's going to be a great time for Parker Washington to come in, and he, caught 32 balls last year. So I wonder.
Is that on him? Is that on the coaching staff for not utilizing him right?
I think that's a little bit of all of it together, and their decision towards the end, too, to force feed Brian Thomas, which is not a bad idea. But there was a lot of time in between them going, hey, maybe we should force feed the ball to him, to where, hey,
Could
know what?
He asserted himself a little bit more.
Yeah. I mean, and again, he's been there most of all the receivers. He's had the best camp. Most eye-popping, most impressive, had a phenomenal catch yesterday at the goal line, fought through contact, got in the end zone. Good for him. If he continues that, then I think this offense could be really, really good in the pass game anyway.
In addition to that, he's your primary punt and kickoff returner?
Yep.
Both. So, he's going to get...
Well, Tank may do some, maybe
he'll do some,
return,
right?
yeah.
But if you're putting one guy deep, do you think we don't know maybe what ultimately they'll settle on with that. But Parker Washington, if you got two returners, he's certainly out there.
Yes.
If you got one, there's a good chance that he's out there, right? So could be your primary guy at kickoff and punt. So he'll get the ball in his hands a little bit every game with a chance to
make an impact. Yeah.
Make an impact.
Without
right.
question.
All right. Let's get over to the defensive side. Some interesting battles going on there. Linebacker core. I think all the position groups have some interesting competitions there. So we'll get into all that as we go through the second hour of Jaguars Today. Mike DeRocco of ESPN is here with us for the first of many Thursdays to come. Tony Smith's got the day off. I'm Mike Dempsey along with Dylan Denmark. This is Jaguars Today on 1010XL 92.5 FM. Hey, folks, Mike Dempsey here for Apex Roofing and Contracting, locally owned and operated right out of Jacksonville Beach. Look, you understand it. Rainy season, no joke. If your roof has any kind of damage, if it leaks, if it's just plain worn out, the time to act is now. Apex is local. They're dependable. They're showing up on time using only premium materials with ironclad warranties. They don't take shortcuts, just quality work you can trust. Apex Roofing and Contracting, online at apexroofingfl.com or just stop by and see them in Jacksonville Beach. That's Apex Roofing and Contracting.
Jaguars Today from the Renewal by Anderson Custom Windows and Doors Studios of 1010XL. Get a look behind the throw with Denny Thompson.
Yeah, I want to tell you what's really happening at the quarterback position.
Denny Thompson is the quarterback whisperer. Friday mornings on The Drill, revved up by George Moore Chevrolet and Tyson Sound and Security on 1010XL.
It's time to elevate your back-to-school style with luxury and a brand-new Cadillac.
Discover the 2025 XT6, a spacious 7-seat SUV starting at just $49,195. Perfect for carpooling or weekend adventures.
That's right, or step up your game with the stunning 2026 Vistique, Escalade, and Escalade IQ.
I want to go back to school in style.
You can. Visit us at Randy Marion Cadillac on Southside Boulevard in Jacksonville. This school year, it's all about style.
Plus tax tag title $9.99 admin fee and resist all on approved credit.
Jaguars Today Thursday is hitched to Cannons of Jacksonville for all your towing needs.
The best game day parking in all of Duval is at Tailgaters Parking. Are you ready for some football? Tailgaters is just steps away on the east side of the stadium. Visit tailgatorsparking.com and secure your season parking pass today.
1010XL and Channel 4 are partnering to bring you more high school football coverage than ever before. Check out our live streaming show on the multimedia platforms for both 1010XL and Channel 4 as games are happening live, debuting August 22nd, presented by Farah and Farah.
Prosser here again for Chad and Sandy, the local real estate experts you can trust. You might think you have a struggle ahead, but Chad and Sandy always have a solution, and ultimately it ends in a success story. Jacksonville area homes are selling, but getting the right price requires aggressive marketing and proven systems. Hiring the experts who know how to create demand is crucial. You need Chad and Sandy Newman. Need to sell now? Chad and Sandy have instant offers, fast, easy, stress-free. But, man, they deliver with the promises. The local real estate experts you can trust. Chad and Sandy guarantee your home sold at an agreed-upon price and deadline, or they will buy it. No required costly repairs. Pick your move date. No long-term contracts. You can cancel at any time. Oh, and the proof is out there. Tom and Nicole in Mandarin. I got a new job in Louisiana. We found a new home. Now we'd have to sell fast to avoid paying 2 mortgages. Chad and Sandy did it. Use them today. ChadandSandy.com. That's ChadandSandy.com.
Guys, your lawn's the home field. Now you can champion your St. Augustine grass. TopDressing.com just hit Jacksonville with a game-changing patented process. Aerate and transform your turf into a fairway-worthy masterpiece. Less water, shorter cuts, and the envy of every neighbor. No one else delivers a perfect 10 lawn like this. Visit TopDressing.com and dominate your block with the same process that golf courses use. Top dress your lawn like the pros with TopDressing.com.
The experts at AMCO have been fixing cars for almost 60 years. Over that time, they've gotten more complex than ever. That's why our techs undergo rigorous training and certifications, so they can fix anything, including the most complicated repairs that come with some of the latest technologies. After 60 years, there's nothing we haven't seen or fixed. It's how we know cars inside and out.
Money tight? We can finance almost anybody. Find the AMCO transmissions nearest you at amcojacksonville.com.
What defines a hero? Dedication, loyalty, courage. Every day at AMCO, we serve heroes. For over 60 years, we've repaired and maintained the most critical public service vehicles. From complex transmissions to simple brake jobs with flexible financing and the extra safety precautions we need. The heroes we serve don't all wear uniforms. They're people like you. At AMCO, we're proud to serve all of you. AA MCO.
Family owned and operated in Jacksonville, Orange Park, St. Augustine, and St. Mary's, Georgia.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. It's a Mike DeRocco Thursday on Jaguars Today. Open by Lee and Kate's Glass on 1010XL.
All right, D-Rock. Let's talk some defense here. Mike DeRocco of ESPN here with us on Jaguars Today. Taking you up until noon, handed off to XL Primetime at that point in time as Tony Smith down South Florida with Bulls football. He'll be back with me tomorrow. Dylan Denmark's here as well. D-Rock, let's hone in on the linebacker core right here. All right, start with Devin Lloyd playing deeper than rest of the, quote, starters the other night, right? Is that significant? Ventrell Miller kind of flip-flopping back and forth with him. How much is this a battle for the starting job? I mean, how much has been determined, or how wide open is it to you?
I think that whole position group is still wide open in terms of roster spots and in terms of who's going to be playing where, with the exception of Foye. I think Foye's the one true lock there. I think Devin Lloyd makes the roster. I think Ventrell Miller makes the roster. And I think Jack Kaiser makes the roster.
Okay.
Gardeck is going to make the roster, I think, because they love him. They signed him, special teams guy. Yeah, and he'll start there, and he gives you some pass rush stuff there as well.
Like him not being available for some of the stuff is them recognizing his potential importance to the defense. And he's a vet. He's been around.
Right, and he's coming off a knee.
Right.
So you take it easy.
I think it's more like he's like, we know what we've got if we can get him to the season healthy. So, but with his injury history, do you keep a Yasir Abdullah?
See, I don't know. I think, that's the one I was wondering about, because when I was trying to come up with the roster projection, is it Yasir or is it Branson Combs?
Mm-hmm.
Branson Combs has flashed a little bit here and there, special teams, but Yasir's got a lot of work. First, second team reps.
Right. He's been listed as a co-starter.
Yeah. So
all camp. For whatever that's worth.
He's a little undersized. So do you worry about that? For them, I don't know. I've been told it's a fluid situation there. That whole linebacker room thing there is fluid in terms of who's playing when and where. And I know Jack Kaiser's making the roster. They love that kid, especially special teams. He brings them a lot of stuff there.
Fourth-round pick.
Right, exactly.
He's very surprised.
Right. Well, I mean, what's-his-face is a third-round pick. Muma. And he's,
not by this regime.
Yeah, true.
That's
true.
what I'm saying. Right. Fortin was the third-round pick.
Right.
And
by the way,
I'm saying fourth-round pick by James Gladstone makes a difference.
By the way, James Gladstone, I don't care anything else that happens in the NFL this year.
They got something for
that
Fortner.
guy should win the NFL Executive of the Year because he got something, and he may have gotten a guy that's going to be a key player for them for Luke Fortner, a guy that was not making this roster.
Yeah, well, the guy out in Denver got a 4th and a 7th for their 5th receiver yesterday, so he's doing some good work as well. But
yeah, well,
regardless.
Anybody who's watched this team the last 3 years,
Muma's not on this team, then, right?
I don't think so. No, they drafted Kaiser to be his eventual replacement anyway.
Correct. All right, so Jalen McLeod, IR
candidate, yeah,
right. All right, so
or maybe he doesn't make it because I didn't even notice him before he got hurt.
Gotcha.
Out there.
6th round pick by them this year. You're getting into a less protected area now.
Here's the thing. All of your draft picks shouldn't make your roster every year. That's not a good thing when all of your draft picks make your roster every year, because that means your roster's not good. It's not in a good shape. So this whole thing of people, they drafted him in the 6th round. I mean, he's one of their guys in their draft pick. Yes, you don't have to keep all your draft picks. You don't. And you shouldn't really, to be honest with you. Because like I said, that tells me we need those 7th round picks because they're better than anybody else we got on the roster.
Mm-hmm.
So, I would not be surprised if he's just flat cut.
All right, let's put that on hold for a moment. Dylan, if you would, fire me up to go around the league here.
Now, Gems Around the NFL, brought to you by Beach's Jewelry and Pawn in Jack's Beach.
All right, according to NFL Network's Cameron Wolf, Dolphins head coach Mike McDaniel says he does plan to play his starters against Jacksonville, at least for a little bit of the preseason finale this Saturday night. Playtime amount will be determined by how they do today in the joint practice, which we'll circle back to here in a moment. A couple of deals went down yesterday with the New Orleans Saints sending a 4th and 7th round pick to Denver for second-year wide receiver Devon Bailey. Elsewhere, the Chiefs sent wide receiver Sky Moore to San Francisco. San Francisco dealing with just a litany of injuries. Brandon Ayuk is probably going to start the season on the PUP list. Juwan Jennings has a calf injury. Jordan Watkins, a high ankle sprain. Demarcus Robinson facing a suspension. Russell Gage just came down with an injury. So Ricky Pearsall, who, of course, was shot last year in the preseason, is the healthy guy in that room. And now Sky Moore comes on down as well. And this from Jamal St. Cyr of Channel 4 coming out of practice. Big fight happened.
Baby.
Big fight. Went from the field into the indoor facility.
That must have been a pretty good melee.
Yeah, some guys had a grip of somebody else's face mask, I am thinking. And
by the way, their practice facility is the Jags practice facility is an exact duplicate of the Dolphins practice facility for the visual, to get the visual of.
Is or is not?
Is.
Okay. So kind of tumbled into the open.
I shouldn't say exact copy, but they based this one on that one. It's pretty close.
Joe Shad down there at practice as well. Let's see. Said that Trayvon Walker had a chokehold on Jalen Wright, the Miami backup running back, at the end of a run, and Wright unhappily swung, and that's what set it off, I guess.
If you said put a list of guys together that you would not want to take a swing at,
Trayvon
would probably be 1 or 1A on
Fred
that
Johnson.
roster. Has anyone seen the back since? I mean, is he okay? Is he alive?
He may have been swallowed up.
I don't know.
If we have more details coming out of that, we'll be happy to pass those along to you here. At the same time, hey, chokehold, one thing. Don't be cracking those knuckles on somebody's helmet, Trayvon.
Smart man.
Right?
Trayvon, smarter than the 2 rookies.
Chokehold ain't going to hurt you. Right. Okay? Might hurt the other guy. So that's all we know. This was literally in the last 5 minutes, all this coming out of the Jaguars joint session with the Miami Dolphins down there. Another guy who you probably wouldn't want to pick a fight with, I think, is Mason Smith, just looking at his stature, his size. D-Rock, Liam Cohen said 2 days ago, in regards to Mason Smith and Eric Armstead, that both of these guys have been outstanding and doing everything they can to get back on the field, right? Like, people are probably sick of hearing me talk about this, but, Eric Armstead, I feel like as soon as it was, we're not sure when he's going to be back. Oh, this guy, right? Like, right. I mean, is it possible he was hurt and now he is back on the field? You know what I mean? It's not like, and somebody hit me up yesterday like, they got Colin Saunders. That lit a fire under Eric Armstead. Well, they're not going to play the same position.
No.
So, Colin Saunders is a nose tackle, a one technique, if you will.
If you said draw a nose tackle, you would draw Colin Saunders.
What a dude, man. What a personality, though,
Yes.
right? Like, he might have one of the biggest personalities already on this roster.
Taught himself to play piano, among other things that he's done. And at 300, and they list him at like 320, right?
Yeah, right. He ate, he had 320 for lunch.
I'm 6'4", but he can do a standing backflip at that size.
That
which
is insane.
Ungodly athleticism. So he's going to be a fun guy. He reminds me of Marcel Darius. Just mentality, attitude, fun-loving guy who is also a load in the middle of the defensive line.
People have made that connection, more like, they play basically the same position, interior defensive line, and you got that guy in when you recognize the deficiency, and, well, we remember what happened. That was 2017, so that went quite well. I know I saw Coach Camp talking about him. Cut 9 from Anthony Campanile, Dylan, when you get a second. Let me know when you got that one ready, and we'll hear what the defensive coordinator had to say about his new man up front. But where does he factor in? Is he, D-Rock, in your opinion, is he backing up Devon Hamilton, or is this a guy that could ultimately push to be the starter at nose?
I think for right now, you slot him in as the backup and then see how it goes from there.
Yeah. He's been a 2-time Super Bowl champ, so he's played on really good teams. Crazy athletic.
Well, he's the one who had the interception.
Yes,
last
and ran
year.
it out to the
So,
40-something yard line, whatever it was.
Yeah, like that. Telling guys where to block or who to block, too.
Right.
It was fantastic.
And he's lined up as a fullback, as a lead blocking back.
I was going to ask Liam Cohen at some point next week. It's like, okay, I don't think you guys run the tush-push. Does that guy make you reconsider?
Change your dynamic?
Yeah, running the tush-push. I mean, not that you want him behind Trevor Lawrence pushing him because he might kill him.
Right?
But, he's played fullback, like you said.
What about just
give him the ball?
Let's just line him up under center.
Yeah.
And tush-push.
Can you take the snap and tush-push it in there?
Yeah. We're getting a little silly because I don't think the second they put Kalen Saunders under center, we're all killing him. Okay?
Yeah.
Or Colin Saunders, excuse me.
Colin, yeah.
Yes. Here is what Anthony Campanile said yesterday about what Saunders brings to the Jags defense.
Toughness. He is a really, really twitchy guy, in my opinion. Watching him and all that, just watching him go through the drills and everything, he brings a level of physicality. I think he's got tremendous block release, to be honest with you. When you watch him, he does a really great job of not staying blocked, hard to move inside in the interior. So it's always great to have a twitchy guy like that inside where you feel like you can still get some rush, even in the early down action once he reacts to drop back or play action pass. So he's got a great personality too. I know you guys probably got the chance to meet him a little bit. He's a great dude.
Oh, he used twitchy a few times. I love to be honest with you, he was contemplating, I wonder if I should say how good he is. Now, I guess I will. Right. To be honest with you, here's what he's good at. But he seems like a guy that's going to, been there, done that a little bit. They need a little bit more of that in this locker room.
And a guy in the locker room that won't put up with any BS. There wasn't enough guys like that on that roster.
Mm-hmm.
They had some leaders and some quiet leaders and lead by example guys, but there wasn't enough. And maybe you could even argue there weren't any guys that would grab people by the face mask and shake some sense into them.
There may be a few right now on the Dolphins team because a follow-up to the fight.
Apparently just whipping the crap out of the Jags.
Jamal St. Cyr, Jags O versus Dolphins D. John Wolford to Dorian Singer got thrown to the ground. Tempers are flaring. Guys had to be separated again. So we'll see. I mean, this is a Miami team that was maligned by both Detroit and Chicago for not meeting their intensity level in practice. And from the sound of it, they're getting the better of it
And
today.
Liam Cohen said the other day that he didn't think this was going to be as physical a practice as he had wanted because the Dolphins had those other joint practices and the physical nature would probably not be where he wanted it to be in terms of the amount of physical, one-on-one or whatever it is between the two teams. I wonder if the team
bought that,
walked down there, got punched in the mouth 4 or 5 times, and then it was just like, okay, we better respond. Yeah. All
right, quickly, defensive tackle, Mason Smith, Eric Armstead, no particular order here, Devon Hamilton, Colin Saunders.
Sure.
Who else? Who else makes it? Lacey making it?
I don't have Lacey making it.
Austin Johnson?
I have Danny Strigow making it.
You do? You list him as a D tackle?
Yes. D line, D end. I think he's going to play some spots both places.
I had him making it last week.
Yeah.
What about
I don't
Green?
have Green? No. I don't have him making it.
I mean, the metrics people love him. I saw Daniel Griffiths, Action Sports. I think he tweeted out something like he's got the highest pressure rate of anybody at least this week in the preseason. You know? Yeah, I think he had 5 pressures in this game this week. So
I don't have Jordan Jefferson making it either.
Yeah, I think that the Colin Saunders edition is bad omen for Jordan Jefferson is what it feels like. All right, we'll come back. Let's take a look at the secondary. Mike DeRocco here with us. Happy Thursday to all of you. You're listening to Jaguars Today on 1010XL 92.5 FM. Hey, folks, Mike Dempsey for Dandy Foods, local company, owned and operated by the Thompson family, a Jacksonville family since way back in 1956. Back when sandwiches were sold out of beer flats on the counter, unrefrigerated, right there by the register. 25 cents for a ham and cheese, why not? Of course, a lot has changed since then, but one thing that hasn't is Dandy's commitment to making quality sandwiches for you, their customers, whether it's that classic Cuban made with authentic Cuban bread, maybe a delicious home-style cranberry chicken salad. Dandy's got something for everybody. Fast, fresh, and they're waiting for you in the cold case at convenience stores all over town. You'll find them at all daily stores with a wide selection to choose from. Look, after 10 years of talking about Dandy, I could probably recite the whole lineup. Better yet, why don't you go swing down to your local convenience store and check out the cold case. Still the perfect go-to when you're in a hurry and you don't want the hassle of a long wait. The next time you're out and about in Duval, do what I do. Go out and make yours a Dandy and do it today.
Jaguars Today from the Renewal by Anderson Custom Windows and Doors Studios.
Okay, for this Cannons of Jacksonville commercial, we need an idea to really come out with a bang.
Like having a guy shot out of a cannon.
Nah, too messy. In fact, Cannons is known for all your towing needs.
So like my car won't start.
No. Towing products. Cannons does custom welding fabrication and installation of trailer hitches, goosenecks, tow bars, truck racks.
So you might say Cannons is my best shot at finding that inventory in stock?
Boom. You said it.
Visit cannonsofjacks.com.
Jaguars Today, Thursday is towed by Cannons of Jacksonville.
Watch football this season in downtown Duval at Pour Tap Room Jacksonville. 2 floors, 15 TVs, a giant projector, 80 self-pour taps of ice-cold craft beer, wine and cocktails, plus a full bar, wings, burgers, and more, and pizza delivered to your table from Pizza Dynamo. Downtown at Laura and Forsyth. Pour Tap Room Jacksonville. A beer festival every day.
When your plumbing backs up, your septic's acting shady, or your AC quits on a 95-degree day, who are you going to call? Duck Rooter Plumbing, Septic, and Air Conditioning. Don't take just our word for it. Here's what real customers are saying about their experience with our company.
Megan in the office was so helpful and polite. Scheduling was easy, and the tech showed up right on time.
From plumbing and septic to air conditioning, we do it all. Call 904-862-6769 or online at duckduckrooter.com. When you're stuck, call the Duck.
Attention men and women. If you would like to get your hair back, then you need to listen to some of our clients. John in Orange Park.
IHRS showed me what was causing my hair loss and helped stop it.
Call IHRS now at 904-777-IHRS. Find out how to grow your hair back with a free hair and scalp examination. Mike from Bay Meadows.
I finally found the most experienced company who could restore my hair. Now I have hair where I had none before.
Results guaranteed. Diane from Ponte Vedra.
Now I have what lotions couldn't give me. Thick, beautiful hair.
Find out why you're losing your hair and how to grow your hair back. Call 904-777-IHRS for a limited time free hair and scalp examination.
Now my hair will grow for the rest of my life. Thanks, IHRS.
Thank you, IHRS.
Thanks, IHRS, for giving me my hair back.
Hurry and receive a free hair and scalp examination and get 2 weeks of laser treatments for free. Call IHRS at 904-777-IHRS. That's 904-777-4477. HairForMe.com.
Football season is here, so I've got to get organized. Lauren Brooks here. Closets by Design creates custom storage for every space, lifestyle, and budget. From closets to garages to laundry laundry rooms, or entertainment centers, wherever that clutter has taken over. Call today to schedule a free in-home consultation and receive 40% off plus an additional 15% off with free installation. Yes, that's 40% off plus an additional 15% off this month only. Call 904-878-9393 or visit closetsbydesign.com.
The coolers are full at your local Gate gas station, making it easy for you to cruise in and cruise out with little downtime. Ice cold Coronas, Natty Light, Stella Artois, and Michelob Ultra. And don't forget the king of beers, Cold Buds. Gate's got them in the cooler, waiting for you.
New and pre-owned firearms are always in stock at Beach's Jewelry and Pawn in Jacksonville Beach. Want a new sidearm or rifle? Brands like Kimbar, Smith & Wesson, Sig Sauer, and Beretta. No lines, no hassle. Beach's Jewelry and Pawn in Jacksonville Beach.
This is Greg Huntington, a.k.a. The Mangler. I'm on the winning team at Waste Management. WM is the largest sustainability company in North America. If your business needs sustainable environmental services for waste removal and recycling collection, then you can count on the industry leader of WM to deliver results. Your services will be completed in a timely, safe, and eco-friendly manner. Go to WM.com/Duval. That's WM.com/Duval and get signed up today. If anyone can talk trash, it's the Mangler.
1010XL is presented by Farrah & Farrah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. It's a Mike DeRocco Thursday on Jaguars Today. Opened by Lee and Kate's Glass on 1010XL.
All right, haven't heard the full dispensation of how the practice is going to wrap up in Miami, but D-Rock, I feel like I'm on the mental roller coaster, right? Like after first preseason game, I'm like, I might take one win off the total. And then last week, I was like, all right, I'm going to put it back on. I'm back on. No, I was never at 12, all right? I was at 8 and 9, somewhere in that ballpark with hopefully a little bit of upside. And today, I'd like to hear more of, like we talked about with, Brian Thomas emerged during that joint practice with the Bucs last year. We're not quite hearing those happy tales on anybody dominating from the Jaguars side this morning. But then again,
except for Trayvon.
Well, Trayvon in a physical matchup with a running back that he outweighs by a good bit is, he'll win. He'll win that.
Why would you swing at Trayvon? I just can't get over that.
I don't know, man.
I would just be like, oh, thank you, sir.
Let's see. It looks like they got a little something going. They're back out on offense. Trevor to Tootin, short pass complete. Jordan Brooks knocked him out of bounds. I wonder is it thud? Is that the kind of the rules of engagement you're understanding? I don't think it's tackle to the ground.
No. Which is why I guess the second scuffle rose up a little bit because Singer got thrown to the ground.
Chokeholds were among the barred holds. They say no holds barred except for chokeholds. Not allowed to have that one out there.
Well, I'm curious. I mean, we're joking about this, but like, what kind of chokehold is like? Trayvon holding him up with one hand.
With his hand, right. That's one thing. It's another, or did he happen to get him right from behind?
In my mind, Trayvon is like carrying him off the field with one hand.
I would take exception to that if I were Jalen Wright as well.
Yeah.
But good luck being able to do anything about it, at least one-on-one. All right, let's look at this secondary, D-Rock. Opening day safeties, Eric Murray and Dewey.
Yeah.
Okay. Tyson and Jordan Lewis in base.
Yes.
At corner. Okay. We know Hunter, however you're counting him, we know he's on this roster. Jarian's on the roster.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Stop me when I say something you disagree with. Monteric's on the roster.
Yes.
What about Braswell?
I think he is. I think he's had a really good camp. Okay. He's made some plays in games and in practice.
So DeAndre Prince on the outside looking in?
I think so.
Okay. So we're talking at corner. We got Tyson. We got Jordan Lewis. We got Hunter. And he's going to, whether you count him as a corner or wide receiver, whatever. Monteric, Braswell, Jarian. That's 6.
Yeah.
That's all right. So at safety, you said Dewey and Murray are starters. Obviously, Ransaw will be on this team in some capacity.
Probably IR. He might be one of those IR.
Could be an IR candidate. I think Ray Lane makes this football team.
Yes.
I think Daniel Thomas does not.
Correct. I agree with that.
I think Antonio Johnson makes the team.
Yes.
I did not have Darnell Savage.
I did have
on my
Savage
projection.
making the team. Okay. I did.
So
I think
go ahead.
Savage gives you some nickel
He does.
ability too, as sort of like just some added protection.
He does, but you also, I mean, Jarian obviously played there last year, so you could look at it that way as well.
But but I know they like Savage. It's been a weird camp for him because he's kind of waffled in between like first, second, third team, getting reps with all of them, how he fits in.
Doesn't really give you anything on special teams, does he? Or?
No, not really. Antonio does, for sure.
How close is Antonio Johnson to, at some point this season, breaking into the starting lineup?
That depends on whether he knows where he's supposed to be and goes where he's supposed to be.
What are the indications you've had in camp that that's heading in the right direction?
I have not seen him like confused, running around out there. People I've talked to have said
cautiously optimistic. At least that
people I've talked to have said he's had a really solid camp. Turned it around from last season. You wonder with that safety stuff going on last season with him and Cisco, what happened there. I mean, we now know how much that defensive group of players hated or did not like playing for Ryan Nielsen. Gosh darn it, I keep doing that. So I think last year was a mess because we thought Antonio Johnson was going to take the next step going into last season and seems to be doing that this year.
Who would be any priority practice squad guys? Would you see DeAndre Prince as a guy they'd like?
That would be one.
Right,
yes.
Presuming that they can clear waivers, right? What about Slaughter?
Yes.
Jabbar Muhammad?
Yes.
Possibly
maybe,
all those guys,
yeah,
right?
maybe Silman Craig too, possibly.
Okay. A bunch of them.
Yeah.
I mean, it's an important position, but the practice squads are so big.
Yeah,
these days.
16 guys now.
All right, well, let's do this. Let's come back. Let's take a look at today's question of the day, weigh in on that, and think about this, D-Rock. You mentioned, once the 53 is set, doesn't mean it's set, right?
Correct.
And they'll be looking perhaps for a big-bodied wide receiver, for example. What other positions do you think they might be in the market for based on where things stand right now? We'll discuss that as we wrap things up on the other side. Mike DeRocco of ESPN here with us on this Thursday edition of Jaguars Today. Tony Smith down in South Florida with Bulls football. This is Jaguars Today on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Jaguars Today.
For the Renewal by Anderson Custom Windows and Doors Studios at 1010XL.
Cigar smokers, mark your calendars. On August 22nd, 3 to 7, join us at Cigars International Superstore at the Town Center for an epic Oliva event. Meet Ralphie Solar from Oliva. Grab exclusive deals on Oliva boxes and sip drinks at our full bar. Relax in our indoor and outdoor lounges with TVs. Don't miss this smoking good time. This Friday, August 22nd, 3 to 7 p.m., Cigars International Superstore, Jacksonville at the Town Center.
Jaguars Today, Thursday.
Brought to you by Cannons of Jacksonville.
Firehouse Subs has fries. Your hometown hero since '94 just cranked up the heat. Hot subs, crispy fries, golden, pillowy on the inside, and perfectly seasoned. Over 30 Jacksonville locations. Firehouse Subs, homegrown and now with fries.
Fall is here. The air is crisp. Football is on, and the perfect backyard atmosphere starts with a high-quality fireplace from CSS Fireplaces and Outdoor Living. Hey, it's Joe C. Imagine nights by the fire, cheering on your team, surrounded by friends and family. CSS can transform your outdoor space into the ultimate game day destination. Stylish, warm, and built for memories. With several wood, gas, and electric options, let CSS make your backyard the best seat in the house. Visit CSSFireplaces.com.
If you want to sell your home, or you're worried about selling your home, or you've had trouble selling your home, let me give you the hotline to the help you need. That's the hotline to Chad and Sandy. 904-414-6200, chadandsandy.com. Area homes are selling, but you got to get the right price, and you need the right marketing, the proven systems. Chad and Sandy hit every base for you. Need to sell now? Instant offers coming. Fast, easy, stress-free. You want max price? Chad and Sandy bring your home to market with unmatched exposure, whether you're buying or selling. Fast or max cash, Chad and Sandy have the proven plan guaranteed. And how about this promise? Chad and Sandy guarantee your home sold at an agreed-upon price and deadline, or they will buy it. No required costly repairs. They are the real estate experts you can trust. So call them today at 904-414-6200 or go to chadandsandy.com. That's Chad, ANDSandy.com.
Hey, Jacksonville, it's Dr. Kevin Kaplan, team physician for the Jaguars and proud member of Jacksonville's newest orthopedic dream team. At Orthopedic Specialists of Jacksonville, we brought together 10 board-certified fellowship-trained surgeons, each one a specialist in their field, all working together to deliver smarter, faster care with better results. From sports injuries to joint replacements, we've got the right player for every position. Visit osjax.com and meet your team. That's osjax.com.
Jax is more than a city, beaches, suburbs, or a destination. We're a community that takes care of each other. I'm former Jaguar Tom McManus. J-Dog Junk Removal and Hauling is dedicated to serving you with respect and integrity. From estate cleanouts to furniture and appliance removal, we handle it all. Call 506-1256 for your free estimate today. We're here for you. We're veteran-owned and operated. J-Dog Junk Removal and Hauling.
If you're 35 to 75, you could get life insurance today. No medical exam needed. I'm Cody with Harborstone Financial. One call could protect your family for life. Call me today, 904-885-9566.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Now, the cool down with Donovan Air Electric and Plumbing, keeping Jack's cool since 1987.
All right, let's get to today's 10-10 take. Denmark.
10-10 take.
Now, Mike Dempsey's 10-10 take is serviced by Ideal Conditions Heating and Air, your go-to local HVAC company, veteran owned and operated.
All right, so today's question of the day, presented by Chad and Sandy Real Estate. After the Jaguars waived Joshua Cephus with an injury designation yesterday, which of these wide receivers is most likely to make the team when the initial 53-man roster is announced next Tuesday? Now, we don't know. There could be two spaces right here, but we listed Chandler Brayboy by himself because a lot of people feel like he might be the best pure special teamer among these candidates right here. Trenton Irwin, Austin Trammell, or you could go off the board and pick any of the trio of Cam Camper, Eli Pancol, Dorian Singer, right? We threw those guys all in together. You only have so many limited options. I've been going with Trenton Irwin in my roster projections. I'm not a big roster projector. I have much more respect for you. I don't know how you take roll out there at practice. You guys, honestly, I mean, I'm not kidding. You are a daily, minute-by-minute observer of everything. I show up. I watch a little of this. I get what I can.
Yeah, and you got to come to the show.
And then I leave and whatever. So I'm not going to be as locked in, but I'm not going to make an excuse for that. I think Trenton Irwin and Austin Trammell are very similar. Logs thinks that Trammell's got speed over him all day long. I don't know. I feel like Irwin's a little bit more accomplished as a receiver. They can both return punts, and it's not going to be the primary job of either one of them. I don't know how much you're going to use them on coverage anyway. Like a guy like Brayboy, who's a bigger guy, makes sense in that capacity. So my vote would go with Trenton Irwin, but I feel like the ground's shaky under my feet on this because I feel like the drumbeat is for Austin Trammell a little bit, for whatever drumbeat there is. How would you vote on this, D-Rock?
I probably would go with Trammell. He also adds a little bit of the ability to block on offense. They like the way he blocks as a wide receiver, too. So I think that would probably push me a little bit more towards him. I think if he were 6'3", 6'2",
no doubt.
I mean, I think he would be the absolute lock.
Right, say that for Trenton Irwin, too.
Yeah,
though.
Exactly.
Yeah,
probably. I know that they like Trammell. But
now you think, and I'm not saying that in a condescending way. You think that, come on, well, you think
this moron thinks.
This idiot. No, you think that they would like to claim a big-bodied wide receiver.
Yeah, a bigger guy, more physical. They don't have that.
Okay, now if they do that, is it with the idea that this guy can impact our offense, or does this guy have to be a special teams demon as well? Granted.
Yeah, he's got to play special teams.
Okay.
They want a guy they want Tim Jones, special teams, Tim Jones size, and then Cephus or Trammell offensive ability.
Good luck.
Yeah. You're going to have to sacrifice one or the other. I think if they could find a guy that could be a bigger physical guy and give them something on special teams, and he would be better than Tim Jones as an offensive player because Tim Jones gave them nothing.
Correct.
then I think they would take a shot with that.
Okay, so whichever, let's say so it would seem like then maybe they only keep 5.
Correct.
Right, and they're seeking. So then is that guy, if they do find that guy that you're describing, does he jeopardize the roster spot of Trammell or Irwin, whoever they kept at 5? Or is that the 6th guy that they're looking for? Or you can consider it 5.5 because Hunter counts like a half in 2 different rooms, right? So you know what I'm saying? Like, is the guy who makes it, if 5 receivers make it, how confident should the 5th guy be that he'll survive that first week on the roster?
I don't think that they're going to put 6 active guys, or they're going to keep 6 receivers on the active roster. So
you don't think they'll have 6 on the 53?
I don't. I think there'll be 5. So, but I think they'll add, whether it's Trammell or whether it's Irwin or whatever, that other guy back to, they'll get them on the practice squad or try to get them on the practice squad.
But ultimately, that guy's 53-man roster spot would not be safe.
Probably
you think
not.
They'll run with 5?
Yeah, I mean, but it all depends on what else they do too. Like I have them keeping 10 offensive linemen. They may go 9.
Yeah,
they may decide we're only going to keep 4 safeties. You know what I mean? Instead of 5, or they may not keep Christian Braswell and try and get him on. It depends on the guy. I hate to like couch it, but it depends.
They probably have a board with like 6 different permutations. Do we go safety heavy? Do we go linebacker heavy? Whatever. And what is it? If we go that route, what do we have to sacrifice?
And they may say, okay, well, is this 6th receiver, is that better for us than keeping Branson Combs, for example?
Right.
Exactly. We could get Branson Combs back on the practice squad. They think it's not an automatic that they're going to get back on the practice. They could get claimed.
But then you got to put them on the active roster, for at least 3 or 4 games. I think.
So, I think it's very, very fluid with what they're going to do. What they hope, what all teams hope, is teams throw out a list on Monday. The Jags have done this, where they throw out the list of, okay, these are the guys we're going to cut. And then other teams see it and go, well, we're not going to be able to claim that guy. So let me call them and see if we could maybe send him a 7th for that guy because we really like him.
It's like what's happening with Brian Robinson at a higher level in Washington.
I mean, I think they did it with Tyler Shatley years ago. Not Tyler Shatley, somebody else. So I think there was an offensive lineman they did it with. And they pulled it back on him and managed to send him for like a 7th or a 6th pick somewhere. I'm trying to
something rather than nothing.
Yeah,
All right,
exactly.
So other than big-bodied wide receiver, what do you think's the top of their priority list when they
keep looking at defensive tackle? I think they've got to get better there.
Nose or 3 technique?
Yes. Whatever.
Okay.
I mean, whatever they can find. Whatever they can find. It's not like you don't know if Eric Armstead's going to be healthy. He's dealing with a back. Matt Hayes will tell you backs ain't good. So he may be okay now, but 3 weeks in, he might not be. You just never know with a back injury. Same thing with Mason Smith. How much is he going to be able to give you early in the season until he gets in football shape? I think he's going to be fantastic when he's finally healthy and in football shape. He's a monster out there.
Several times last week, just in individual drills, by the time, you knew he was on the brink of returning because he was moving so great out there, and
there are like 3 or 4 guys on this roster that when you see them out there, you go, that is a big physical man. And it's Mason Smith, it's Fred Johnson, and it's Eric Armstead.
All right, let's say hello to XL Primetime.
Now, the 2-minute drill is driven by nobody but Nimnik. Nimnik Chevrolet on Cassett Avenue and Nimnik Buick GMC on Phillips Highway.
All right, Matt Hayes here with us. Good morning, Matt.
Good morning, fellas.
I'm sure you've been following along the proceedings down in South Florida. What's your takeaway from what the reporting's been like at the Jags?
2 interceptions. Actually, it's funny? Like, if you follow the Dolphins guys, it's different than what the Jaguars guys are tweeting out, and it's funny how they'll see things and they're like, one of those guys tweeted out that Devin Lloyd sacked, I can't remember who the backup quarterback was, and he wrote he's a really good player, and we're like, I don't know about that.
Hey, look, we may not. A lot of people love Devin Lloyd. I mean, PFF obviously loves him. I mean, D-Rock's outfit, Mike Clay had the Jags with the 3rd best off-ball linebacker group in the league in his rankings, which was curious.
Yeah, I was a little surprised to see
I
that
think
too,
that's
but,
because he probably is Mike. I know Mike. He relies on analytics, and I'm not saying that's
not
right or wrong.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like PFF's analytics love Devin Lloyd. Then again, he was playing deep into the second quarter, and preseason week number 2.
Yeah, I mean, I was just kind of making an observation on it. Different guys covering different teams see it different ways. That's all.
Yeah, maybe
there's a lot going on.
Maybe the local reporter for the whatever the home team is a little bit more down on their guys that they don't.
You see those guys every day, so then when you see the new guy that you don't know all the backstory on and you don't know what their roster, possibility is.
Exactly.
You see it
different.
Yeah.
But we did talk about like how last year Brian Thomas Jr. emerged as like, wow, he was the guy everyone was talking about coming out of those joint practices. I'm not getting a sense we're going to have that kind of today. Like, Jags may have struggled, but this guy, at least I'm not seeing that to this point. Anyway, what's coming up today, Matt?
We're going to talk about, obviously, the joint practice and what's going on with Travis Hunter. He's not there. He's not practicing, so.
He's there.
He's there, but he's not practicing.
Yeah, he's not practicing. Well, I mean, I guess they just couldn't get him across the finish line, but we'll see. D-Rock thinks no chance we'll see him on Saturday, so keep your fingers crossed that he's 100% for the start of the season. Matt, have a good show.
Thanks, guys.
All right, XL Primetime coming your way for the next couple hours. D-Rock, you mentioned you got a big piece coming out tomorrow. Tell folks about it again, please.
Yeah, Brian Thomas Jr., we've seen the frustration, the helmet throws, and kicked a football after an incompletion. And I wrote about that, and there's no worry about him not being able to follow up a fantastic rookie season. It's just a little bit of frustration, and he holds himself to a pretty high level, and when he doesn't meet it, it bothers him.
All right, well, check out Mike DeRocco's coverage of your Jags at ESPN.com. Of course, at ESPN DeRocco on the X platform as well. Thanks to D-Rock for joining me today. Tony Smith returns tomorrow. For Dylan Denmark, I'm Mike Dempsey. Thank you for listening to Jaguars Today on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Jaguars
Today.